Hello and thank you for joining us on Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I'm Najaa Tijani. Remember to follow all our social media handles, and remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel nta.ng/live. Let's begin with news from the presidency. President Muhammadu Buhari has made a strong case for the APC presidential aspirants to hold consultations, build consensus, and come up with a formidable candidate who will lead the party to a resounding victory in the 2023 elections. This was during a strategic meeting with the presidential aspirants ahead of the party's presidential primary election scheduled for Tuesday. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the national chairman and some members of the APC National Working Committee attended the meeting.
The meeting, attended by all the presidential aspirants of the APC, was in furtherance of the ongoing consultative process by President Muhammadu Buhari, aimed at ensuring a smooth, rancor-free and strategic emergence of a formidable standard-bearer for the upcoming presidential election. He said the APC has so far won 2 successive presidential elections in 2015 and 2019 through unity of purpose, strategic alignment, consultation, fairness, determination, and effective leadership. In both instances, the president explained national and party interests were overriding factors in deliberations and decision-making, insisting that 2023 cannot be different.
I charge you to recognize the importance of the stability and unity of the party, which cannot be overemphasized. Our choice of flag bearer must be formidable, appealing to the electorate across the board, and to command such ability to unify the country and the capacity to address our critical challenges.
President Buhari said with his first-hand knowledge of the demands of the office of the president and the expectations of Nigerians, he cannot help but salute the courage of the aspirants as well as their selfless spirit in volunteering to serve in the highest office of the land. And with the rich pedigree of their accomplishments in life, President Buhari is convinced that the aspirants have all it takes to successfully steer the ship of state into the future.
Without prejudice to your qualifications, I urge all of you to hold consultations among yourselves and with the party with a view to building a consensus in a manner that will help the party reduce the number of aspirants, bring up a formidable candidate, and scale down the anxiety of party members. I wish to assure you that in the interest of the nation and the party, I shall continue to provide effective leadership during these transition processes and ongoing consultations. I seek your support in this all-important responsibility.
The president, who had earlier met with the APC governors, is looking forward to meeting other critical stakeholders towards providing clear direction as well as sustaining the unity and cohesion of the party. The national chairman of the APC, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, who spoke to NTA News, described the meeting as appropriate timely and fruitful.
This is to show the kind of leadership traits that the President, Commander-in-Chief has. He believes in fairness. He believes that the only way we can achieve that level of fairness is for him to consult, to interact. We are talking about the highest price in the leadership, the governance of this great country.
So what next after this meeting?
The consultation continues until the convention. I thank the President for having this much time to devote to this process of making everybody feel he matters. It's very, very strategic, and it is the advantage of the party, the benefit of the party.
During the closed-door engagement, some of the aspirants, including Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Governor Badaru Abubakar, and Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, thanked the President for his leadership and guidance, pledging that they will hold the consultations as counselled for the unity and strength of the governing APC. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, preparations for the All Progressives Congress Special Convention and Presidential Primary are underway at Eagle Square, the venue of the event scheduled to hold on the 6th to 8th June 2022. Salihu Gwanara reports.
As stakeholders and members of the party intensify consultations with the purpose of promoting unity amongst members, in line with the party's progressive tenets, the stage here is getting set for the 2,340 delegates to either come and elect through indirect mode of primaries or affirm the candidate of their choice. It is the third special convention and presidential primary by the All Progressives Congress. The first was held at Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos. This is the second time Eagle Square will be playing host to the APC delegates. Less than 12 hours to the commencement of the exercise, nothing is being left to chance as the venue is already wearing a new look.
We are hoping that by latest 11 tonight, right, we will have done some 85 to 90% of all arrangements to be able to receive the delegates coming from all over the federation.
So if you are not a delegate or you are not assigned any duty in or around this place, please stay at home.
Relevant human and material resources, including combined security operatives and the media, are already on ground.
I want to assure all the delegates that we are up to the task. All we want from them is their own cooperation. We want them to please obey the instructions.
Delegates and stakeholders are expected here on Monday, 6th June 2022. From the Eagle Square in Abuja, Salihu Gwanara, NTA News.
And in Edo State, Professor Christopher Imumolem has emerged the presidential candidate of the Accord Party ahead of the 2023 general elections. Timothy Yusuf reports.
Accord! Accord!
Professor Christopher Imumolem won the Accord Party's ticket unopposed at the presidential primary held in Abuja. It was by voice vote as a sole aspirant for the party after his co-contenders in the race stepped down.
If truly you want him to be the flag bearer of Accord come 2023, please say aye. I have taken up this challenge because I believe that Nigeria as a country needs a prosperous, a forward-thinking, a dynamic, and an empathetic leader to steer the ship of Nigeria.
The national chairman of the Accord Party, Mohammed Nadado, described the election of Imumolem being the sole aspirant as a sign of victory in line with the party's slogan, oneness and progress.
Vote for the right person that you know can represent you very well.
Party members promised to work as a team towards the victory of Professor Imumolem. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
In view of the issues surrounding the CBN governor's declared political interest, INEC says it will directly deliver sensitive materials for the Ekiti and Osun governorship elections to the state offices of the commission and not the CBN state offices. The INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, stated this during an online forum organized by a civil society organization, saying the decision came as a result of concerns raised by citizens considering the sensitive nature of election materials and the need for trust and confidence in the electoral process. The direct delivery of the sensitive materials to Ekiti and Osun are, however, interim measures pending further discussions with the Central Bank of Nigeria ahead of the 2023 general election. Professor Yakubu also commended the handling of materials by CBN, saying since the collaboration started, there has not been a single incident of failure in that regard. In preparation for the All Progressive Congress presidential primary election scheduled to hold from Monday 6th June to Tuesday 7th June 2022 at Eagle Square, the FCT Police Command is to effectively police the territory within the period in view and beyond, has planned security deployment by placing traffic diversions at strategic places around the event ground as follows. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan Road by Court of Appeal, behind Court of Appeal. ECOWAS by Women Affairs, the Ministry of Finance, behind Foreign Affairs. Kur Mohammed Road by National Mosque, Benway Plaza, Nitel Junction, NNPC Tower, Sedi Plaza Bridge, Ganache Street by Transcorp, DSS Headquarters, NAS Junction and the Bullet Junction. The deployment is also characterized by heavy visibility policing, as will be witnessed at the various traffic control points to aid the free flow of traffic, stop and search, and vehicular and foot patrol, among others. The Commissioner of Police, CP Babaji Sunday, while registering the command's unflinching commitment to sustaining the relative peace and tranquility enjoyed, urged all and sundry to shun all forms of violence in the period in view and beyond. Unknown gunmen this Sunday invaded St. Francis Catholic Church, Owaluwa, Owo in Ondo State, killing an unspecified number of worshippers. Confirming the incident to NTA News, the parish priest of the church, Reverend Father Vincent Anadi, said the assistant parish priest presided over the Pentecost Sunday Mass. Towards the end of the Mass, the gunmen invaded and started shooting, killing a yet-to-be-ascertained number of people. Details in subsequent bulletin. Dozens of people have been admitted to hospital following an air pollution incident from a yet-to-be-identified gaseous substance at Shekar Medaki of Kumbotso local government area in Kano State. Aminu Umar reports that the patients have already been discharged with no death recorded.
The emission emanated from a scrap collection site by which the owner is said to be at large following the incident. It is located at Shekar Medaki, an outskirt of Kano, opposite Sharada Industrial Area. The gas polluted the air, which affected the residents who were taken to the hospital, and many have vacated the area.
When I come, I discover some women and the children were vomiting and they complaining of stomach. So we rushed them to a healthcare hospital.
The place was cordoned with men of the State Fire Service working towards controlling the emission.
But now we can't even identify the actual type of the gas.
A visit to the nearby hospital revealed that majority of the victims have been discharged. At Murtala Muhammad Specialist Hospital, the authority confirmed the receipt of about 100 patients who present various symptoms relating to inhalation of the substance.
We have received a total of 102 patients, out of which over 95 of them are at home. We have discharged them successfully and they are doing well. And the remaining, even there, also all of them are stable and they are waiting for discharge with immediate effect.
This happened about 24 hours after a gas cylinder exploded, which claimed about 3 lives with more than 20 of them receiving treatment at the Murtala Muhammad Specialist Hospital. Eyewitness account reveals that the explosion happened at a gas selling point that was located close to a fish frying joint. In Kano, Amin Umar, NTA News.
And President Muhammadu Buhari has described the gas explosion Friday at a Kano factory as extremely horrific, saying he's distressed by the tragic accident, the second in the city in a month. 201 residents of Sharada Quarters, Kano, were hospitalized after inhaling chemicals from a cylinder dismantled by metal scrappers. President Buhari said, quote, "I am shocked and pained to hear about this tragic incident so soon after the last gas explosion," end of quote. The president commended the immediate response of the government of Kano State and the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, expressing appreciation for the efforts by the hospitals, National Emergency Management Agency, state emergency management agencies, and the Nigerian Red Cross for their support to the victims. The president wishes all the victims a very quick recovery. As the world marks Environment Day this year, the United Nations is warning that humanity is asking too much of the planet to maintain unsustainable lifestyles. Onengie Fineface reports.
World Environment Day 2022 is considered a vital opportunity to safeguard the health of the atmosphere, the richness and diversity of life on Earth, ecosystems and finite resources of the natural environment.
This movement that began in 1972 stands at a critical juncture today. It's now or never, because we are one people and we have only one Earth. We have only one home, and that is worth standing up for.
The theme, Only One Earth, serves as a reminder for humanity to provide food, clean water, medicine, climate regulations and protection from extreme weather events.
We should make this earth sustainable for human habitation. If we treat it very well, it will be, it will be sustainable for us. Future generation will enjoy it. Who will enjoy it?
Is to raise consciousness in the people that this earth will have no alternative. It is only one. So if you have one thing, what do? You must guard it and protect it jealously.
World Environment Day advocates prudent management of nature and equitable access to its services, especially for the most vulnerable people and communities. Onengie Fineface, NTA News.
Thank you, Onengie. Let's now join Adiola in Lagos for stories from that axis. Hello, Adiola.
Oh, Nadia too. Good to see you. With tobacco use grossing more than 8 million deaths globally every year, the World Health Organization has identified its widespread consumption as one of the biggest threats faced by the world. Amaka Owo in this report seeks expert opinion on tobacco as a public health concern.
Data from the World Health Organization shows there are 1.3 billion tobacco users globally. Medical experts present more disturbing statistics on tobacco use, all in a bid to draw attention and sensitize the public on the need for caution, especially for those in the habit of tobacco use.
On the average, it is estimated that one person dies every 4.5 seconds from a tobacco-related disease worldwide. And eventually, tobacco will kill up to half of its users.
It's damaging the head, turn the brain, make somebody behave anyhow.
More worrisome is the finding that tobacco use is a major cause of 12 types of cancers.
Lung cancer is a major disease caused by smoking. Lung cancer has one of the highest prevalence in the world after breast cancer.
Smoking increases the levels of unhealthy cholesterol and causes damage to the blood vessels that supply blood to the brain. When the blood flow to the brain is critically reduced or completely obstructed, this can lead to stroke.
The DNA of the sperm of the smoker may be affected, leading to some problem of infertility.
Like other habits, tobacco use is difficult to stop. This expert offers psychological dimension to why it is a social problem and the way out.
And this is where we have to commend the government. Gone are the days when adverts of cigarettes used to be very ripe on the TV. And it's usually very glamorous because it usually shows expensive lifestyle and the superstar lifestyle. And most of the youth usually attach smoking with this kind of lifestyle. And by so doing, they try to imitate what they see on TV and believe that by smoking they can be successful.
Irrespective of how long an addict uses tobacco, experts say a decision to quit tobacco can halt the damage caused to the body. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
Now let's talk maritime security. To further secure the nation's maritime space for economic and political purposes, the Nigerian Navy is collaborated with the French and Indian security agencies. Flag Officer Commanding Western Naval Command Rear Admiral Yakubu Wambai, at an interactive session with the visiting officials, assured them that the Gulf of Guinea and other maritime corridors are now safe. Samuel Johnson reports.
The visiting French delegation with the hydrographic ship is for training and exchange of ideas for capacity building. With hydrographic navigation, the Nigerian Navy says the country will further strengthen maritime security and boost economic activities in its corridors, while the nation's sovereignty will be enhanced.
While here, they will work together, train together, exercise together to continue to build our ability in the hydrographic field. Okay, so this by and large is a continuum of our support and collaboration and cooperation with France.
For officials and students in the Indian National Defense College, it's time to compare notes and get additional knowledge, especially about the efforts of the federal government to make the Gulf of Guinea conducive for economic activities, while checking piracy, illegal bunkering, drug trafficking, and other vices.
This is the first step in this cooperation after the acquisition for the Nigerian Navy of NNS Lana from OCEA Company, and we're looking forward for more cooperation in the future.
We have displayed the last day Norwegian lead sitting from Nigeria. We have broken into, the post is now broken into 8 teams.
The flag officer commanding, after briefing his guests, assured them that the government of Nigeria is doing everything possible to fortify internal security and protect the nation from external aggression. The delegates expressed delight to be in Nigeria and learn from the country's naval authorities. In Lagos, Samuel Johnson, NTA News.
Those are the reports from Lagos for now. Zenreth and Just will be next. They'll be giving us the stories from that zone, but do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on all our other social media platforms displayed on your screen for updates. We'll be right back after this break. Don't go away.
Nigerian aviation sector is rapidly growing with the construction of new international airport terminals in several regions of the country. The new Murtala Mohammed International Airport has an estimated passenger increase of 30 million annually and 15 million for Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Malam Aminu Kano International Airport is also expected to open new frontiers for the region with more travel capacity for the annual Hajj, while the new Akanu Ibiam International Airport, Enugu, avails more business opportunities connecting the industrial cities in the region to the world. This new terminals beat world-class standards with enabling infrastructure that aid air travel, tourism, and the eventual growth of the country's GDP.
Open up commerce and of course link us to international societies.
People from international community will come here to do business, and then that will bring in more revenue to the states.
Now, distances can be seamlessly covered as Nigeria keeps raising its bar to suit global infrastructure standards.
harmony of biodiversity destroyed, both in climate crisis and crime phases.
Dicey situation indeed, yet we carry on like a bull in a china shop.
On environment matters, we take the bull by the horns, comb the nooks and cranny of Nigeria.
Asking tough questions,
examining challenges and opportunities,
giving human face to the science, facts, faiths, and global agreements. It's a call for action. Don't miss it.
Join award-winning environmental journalist Jennifer Igwe and other NTA Eco reporters for Environment Matters.
Horse racing is a sport, a culture and a celebration. The Turf Club Federation of Nigeria, TCFN, brings this and more to Sokoto in this year's West African International Derby to celebrate the 15th coronation anniversary of His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar III. The life patron of TCFN, His Royal Highness the Ethiopian Alhaji Dr. Yahya Abubakar, will by the grace of God raise the turf of Shehu Kangiwa Racecourse Sokoto on the weekends of Friday the 3rd of June 2022 to the 5th of June 2022 and Friday the 10th of June 2022 to the 12th of June 2022. TCFN will by this second edition of its West African International Derby not only celebrate a remarkable royal father, but one of its own pillars in the person of the Sultan himself, who serves as the Grand Patron of the Federation.
Nationwide. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya says training and retraining of officers will continue to receive his blessing in view of security challenges facing the nation. He said this during the closing of the Nigerian Army Small Arms and Light Weapons competition in Jos. Yildiz Danladi reports.
Participants competed in various events such as personal weapon and AK-47 practice, general purpose machine gun, marksmanship, pistol competition, and polling plates. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, says marksmanship seeks to improve the troops' capability and operational effectiveness. He notes that efficient use of equipment will put the Nigerian Army in a better position to deal with the threat hampering national unity.
This training will continue all across formation and unit. We are having our training in all formation and unit in all training institutions, including those specialized training we are having, for example, in Kachia. So we have, with this championship and the training that led to it, have improved capacity and shooting skills and competencies of our soldiers.
At the end of the competition, Army Headquarters Garrison Abuja emerged winner with 2,730 points, followed by 81 Division with 2,423 points, while the top position went to 1 Division, which got 2,223 points. The Nigerian Army Small Arms Competition is a biannual event where officers are trained in weapon handling. This year's event was hosted by the 3 Division of the Nigerian Army, JOS. Yildiz Danladi, NTA News.
Governor Simon Lalong is asking people of Plateau State to remain united for the state to achieve its target of sustainable development. This was during the first Plateau Solemn Prayer for Peace and Development of the country. Bilkisu Nuhu has details.
The assembly, which is the first of its kind, attracted Christians from all denominations across Plateau State. Looking at the various challenges affecting the state and country, the heads of denominations deemed it necessary to call for the solemn assembly.
We are here to pray for the security challenges facing the state and the nation, and peaceful coexistence among the people of the Plateau.
In an exhortation titled Plateau Inheritance and Blessings, Dangers and Way Forward, Reverend Stephen Panya Baba drew his lesson from Colossians chapter 1, urging believers to return to the place of prayer with true repentance for them to enjoy the blessings of God.
Plateau is a blessed state because of the act of God. Many of us have settled down into
Governor Simon Lalong lauded the initiative, saying only true repentance can restore all that the cankerworm has eaten.
Looking at the level of manifestation of evil that is threatening our peaceful coexistence and the safety of lives and properties, the call to prayers and repentance is a collective one that emphasizes soul searching by everyone.
Prayers were offered for a more prosperous and united country. In Jos, Bilkisu Nuhu, NTA News.
That's our contribution to Nationwide. There's still more reports with Najato in Abuja.
Thank you, Zenret. Just in, President Muhammadu Buhari has condemned the heinous killing of worshippers Sunday at the St. Francis Catholic Church, Owaluwa Street, Owo Kingdom in Ondo State. The president says only fiends from the nether region could have conceived and carried out such dastardly act, adding that eternal sorrow awaits them both on earth here and ultimately the hereafter. President Buhari mourns the dead, condoles with their families, the Catholic Church, and the government of Ondo State, charging emergency agencies to swing into action and bring succor to the wounded. No matter what, the country shall never give in to evil and wicked people, and darkness will never overcome light. Nigeria will eventually win, the president says. The federal government is assuring electricity consumers that the current epileptic supply being experienced nationwide will improve as repairs on some major gas plants will be completed this weekend. In a statement, the Minister of Power, Abubakar Aliu, explains that the dip in electricity generation is as a result of partial shutdown of Oben gas plant for the repair of critical gas processing equipment, as well as other plants undergoing maintenance and capacity testing. While pleading with electricity consumers to bear with the poor power supply, the federal government is assuring electricity end users that efforts are being made to improve supply. The National Population Commission has begun the identification and mapping process of special populations to ensure their coverage in the 2023 Population and Housing Census with a Training of Trainers workshop. Olusheye Adiago reports.
The refugees and internally displaced persons, IDPs, homeless households, the nomadic persons, as well as persons on transit, including migrants, farmers, fishermen, and mobile hunters, are referred to as special populations in census exercise. Special populations are very critical to national planning, yet their remuneration in census exercises is said to constitute a significant challenge. These identifying and mapping assignment is for these trainees after this engagement provide information on special populations locations, daily movement pattern, and migratory intentions.
In this census, we want everybody to be counted, and it should be counted once and in the right place.
For those reasons, we have to train these people to be able to locate them, to sit down with them, to conduct focus group discussions, to discuss with the key informants, to tell us where to locate them.
The National Bureau of Statistics is glad to be with them, to support them, to give them all our technical support.
The mapping on special populations is expected to be delivered for testing during the trial census exercise, scheduled to commence on 27th of June 2022 in Abuja. Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Nigerian pilgrims for the 2022 Hajj exercise from southern Nigeria are to pay 2,496,815 naira 29 kobo, while their counterparts from the northern part of the country will pay 2,449,607 naira 89 kobo for Adamawa and Borno states. 2,408,197 naira 89 kobo due to proximity to Saudi Arabia. The air ticket cost is the major difference in the fare. This was announced earlier on June 4, 2022 by the NACON chairman Zikrullah Hassan in an extraordinary meeting with chief executives of Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Boards. The commission was given a standing ovation for holding down Hajj fare below 2.5 million naira deposit despite obvious challenges.
Cheaper in Maiduguri than in the other part of the north, and in the other part of the north is also cheaper than the southern Nigeria.
Mr. Hassan reminded stakeholders that they do not have the luxury of time, knowing that Saudi Arabia will not add an extra hour once the deadline for landing is due, adding that the Commission is awaiting response from Saudi authorities regarding request for more Hajj seats. As such, states are to work with and exhaust the allegations they have been granted instead of waiting for more. The dream of making this year's Hajj is close to becoming a reality for thousands of prospective Muslim pilgrims in Nigeria, following the unveiling of selected air carriers and signing of agreement for the 2022 airlift. Abdullahi Musa Suleja reports.
Muslims all over, but those within the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, have not performed that obligatory annual Hajj exercise for 2 consecutive years. Of course, coronavirus was responsible. However, 6 weeks ago, Saudi authorities brought good tidings to the Ummah to allow 1 million pilgrims to participate in 2022 Hajj, 80% coming from outside the kingdom. The pilgrims still held misgivings until this exercise, which appears to kickstart the process.
God wish us a lot of guidance. Thank you. As flying us had a successful career for this year. We urge them to give quality service in line with the standard known in the aviation industry. By Monday, our advanced team will be proceeding, inshallah, to Medina and some to Mecca. And our projection is that by the 9th of June, our inaugural flight will also head to Medina.
Saudi authorities have allocated 45,000 seats to Nigeria, unlike the usual 95,000. Arafat, a pillar which climaxes the Hajj exercise, holds on the second week of next month, July 2022. Abdullahi Musa Suleja, NTA News.
This is Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. Stay tuned for more reports after the break.
Do you run a breast or cervical cancer service? Are you a private or public laboratory, clinic or hospital that offer any of breast imaging, cervical cancer screening, HPV vaccination, or other breast or cervical cancer services? Is your service a primary, secondary, or tertiary center located in any part of Nigeria, no matter how remotely located it is? If yes to any of these questions, then subscribe to the OCI Foundation's CERVICAL app and become accessible and visible to millions of Nigerians. It is all for free. To subscribe, just type the CERVICAL application form on Google or go to the OCI Foundation's page on www.ocifoundation.org and search for CERVICAL application form. Complete the form and submit, and let millions of Nigerians patronize you, all for free. Become part of the OCI Foundation's quest to tackle breast and cervical cancers in Nigeria. And join us as we rise by lifting off.
I'm fascinated with the discourse on national monuments and assets and how much is being done to preserve and
to the language issue. We have turned English to become like a pride value in our own cultural values.
It's not cash transfer. It's not a COVID-19.
Invasion 1897 was a deliberate
You know, many of these people coming to the urban areas now.
These and applications, there are terms and conditions.
Of course, it is the union of two people, a man and a woman coming together.
My name is Diko.
And I'm Elizabeth Obori.
Thanks for staying tuned. Remember to follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and all our social media platforms displayed on the screen for updates. Remember to also subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch this replay after the broadcast. Cross River State Governor Professor Ben Ayadi is advocating a special provision for the girl child by the family and society to protect children and women against all forms of violence. The governor stated this during a dinner organized in honor of the National Association of Women Judges in Nigeria, South-South Zone, who are in Calabar for a conference. Paul Abel reports.
Several cases of violence against women in Nigeria. These women judges are converging in Calabar to say no to this societal vice. The state governor is hosting them to a dinner as he commends the judges on the tedious nature of their work.
Once the family system is wrong, the community starts going wrong, society fails, and that's what we have in Nigeria today.
The governor for support to the judiciary and was recognized and awarded as patron to the association.
Congratulations, Your Excellency.
The guests were also treated to Niger Delta traditional dances. The wife of the governor of Bayelsa State, Patience Doye Diri, and the chief judge of Bayelsa State, Justice Kate Abiri, are members of the association. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
And from Cross River to neighboring Benue State, where Governor Samuel Ortom has sworn in 3 High Court judges with a charge to maintain justice, equity and fairness in the course of dispensation of justice. Charles Abba reports.
The 3 new High Court judges sworn in by the Benue State Governor Samuel Ortom are Justices Felicia K., John Shishi and Omale Gabriel Anebi. The governor, who lauded the new judges for their impeccable services in the justice sector, stated that their appointment is occasioned by the approval of the National Judicial Service Commission. He decried delay of justice and charged the new judges to be committed to quick dispensation of justice anchored on the rule of law.
Our charge to the 3 newly sworn-in judges and all other judges in Benue State Judiciary is to remain above board, shun temptation to pervert justice because of monetary or other inducement.
Governor Ortom reaffirmed his support for the financial autonomy of the judiciary and advocated deduction of his entitlement at source from the Federation account. In Makudi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
Benue State is also known for the production of almost all types of food crops, hence the appellation, the food basket of the nation. However, not so much is known about bee farming in the state. Godwin Inalegu in this report x-rays beekeeping in Benue State and its economic value chain.
Beekeeping dates back to over 900 years in North Africa, specifically Egypt. Beekeeping or apiculture is the maintenance of colonies, commonly in man-made hives by humans.
There are a lot of other products that this small insect gives to human beings.
and our environment. The first and foremost one is honey, and then the other products like propolis, this resinous substance that is collected from poplar products, stands, and then buds of trees. This has a lot of medicinal value. It contains antiviral, antibacterial, and anti-inflammatory properties. It is used as an ingredient in the production of most of these drugs that we take.
It has antioxidants that are in them that help to reduce free radicals from the body cells and prevent the body against diseases, chronic diseases such as cancer and heart disease.
From the foregoing, people are encouraged to go into bee farming for it to thrive in the country because of its value chain. In Mapudi, Godwin, Inalegu, NTA News.
In Nigeria's bid to strengthen and deepen burgeoning cultural diplomacy with the United States of America, the art exhibition titled Nigeria Speaks became an undeniable iconic moment in history with the passing of the resolution by the Senate of the State of Georgia declaring May 25th Nigeria's Art and Culture Day. The Consulate General of Nigeria in Atlanta, in partnership with Nike Art Gallery, Lagos, Nigeria, proudly hosted the first edition of the Nigeria Speaks art exhibition in Atlanta on 25th May 2022. The exhibition showcased the richness of Nigerian culture, art, creativity, literature, languages, and other forms of expression. The first edition of the Nigeria Speaks art exhibition celebrated a distinguished Nigerian woman of substance, Chief Mrs. Nike Okundaye, in appreciation of her extraordinary achievements as a globally recognized and celebrated iconic artist, expressionist, and contributor to human civilization. The exhibition mainly featured the work of Chief Nike, the proprietors of Nike Art Gallery in Lagos, Nigeria, and her associates. Chief Nike is a leading art expressionist and one of the foremost personalities in the development of African arts and crafts. African foreign missions in Federative Republic of Brazil have African foreign missions in the Republic of Brazil have expressed commitment towards sustaining momentum of stimulating flow of trade and investment opportunities from South America to the African continent. This is their position during the celebration of the Africa Day with the theme Strengthening Nutrition and Food Security on the African Continent. Suleiman Rigachukwu reports.
The day is a commemoration of founding of Organization of African Unity, now African Union, with opportunity to identify diversity as strong pillar of togetherness while promoting the continent's economic potentials. With the theme Finding Shows Leadership is expected to strengthen agro-food, health and social protection systems, as well as accelerate human, social and economic capital development on the African continent. In his lecture, to underscore the theme, Nigeria's ambassador to Brazil, Professor Ahmad Muhammad Makarpi, said Africa's huge population of 1.3 billion, with young people making the majority, is huge opportunity for balanced and flourishing economic relationship between Africa and South America.
Most Brazilian businessmen remain invested at home. They don't have enough information about what of change in other parts of Africa and parts of the world, especially Africa. Africa is underrepresented.
Ambassador Makarpi said there is need for the two continents to continue to work together and build on milestones achieved in fast-tracking development across all sectors of the economy for the benefit of their people. Suleiman Rigachukwu, NTA News.
It's time for another break. Do stay tuned.
The Nigerian aviation sector is rapidly growing with the construction of new international airport terminals in several regions of the country. The new Murtala Mohammed International Airport has an estimated passenger increase of 30 million annually and 15 million for Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Malam Aminu Kano International Airport is also expected to open new frontiers for the region with more travel capacity for the annual Hajj, while the new Akanu Ibiam International Airport, Enugu, avails more business opportunities connecting the industrial cities in the region to the world. These new terminals beat world-class standards with enabling infrastructure that aid air travel, tourism, and the eventual growth of the country's GDP.
Open up commerce and, of course, link us to international societies.
People from international community will come here to do business, and then that will bring in more revenue to the states.
Now, distances can be seamlessly covered as Nigeria keeps raising its bar to suit global infrastructure standards.
Harmony of biodiversity destroyed, both in climate crisis and crime phases.
Dicey situation indeed, yet we carry on like a bull in a china shop.
On environment matters, we take the bull by the horns, comb the nooks and cranny of Nigeria.
Asking tough questions.
Examining challenges and opportunities.
Giving human face to the science, facts, facts, and global agreements. It's a call for action. Don't miss it.
Join award-winning environmental journalist Jennifer Igwe and other NTA eco reporters for Environment Matters.
Horse racing is a sport, a culture, and a celebration. The Turf Club Federation of Nigeria, TCFN, brings this and more to Sokoto in this year's West African International Derby to celebrate the 15th coronation anniversary of His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar III. The life patron of TCFN, His Royal Highness the Ethiope Alhaji Dr. Yahya Abubakar, will by the grace of God raise the turf of Shehu Kangiwa Racecourse Sokoto on the weekends of Friday the 3rd of June 2022 to the 5th of June 2022 and Friday the 10th of June 2022 to the 12th of June 2022. TCFN will by this second edition of its West African International Derby not only celebrate a remarkable royal father, but one of its own pillars in the person of the Sultan himself, who serves as the Grand Patron of the Federation.
It's nice to know you're still watching. No less than 647.4 kilograms of cannabis, khat, loud, tramadol, rofinol, MDMA and pentazocine injection were cut off the supply of illicit drugs at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. It was a tough fight, which also resulted in the interception of 14.5 kilograms of khat consignment and 60 pellets of cocaine, weighing 1.037 kilogram at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. The NDLEA says 11 suspects have so far been arrested in connection with the crime at the Lagos and Abuja airports. Meanwhile, operations conducted in Anambra, Abuja and Imo commands of the Anti-Narcotics Agency have led to the seizure of a quantum of illicit substances, including cannabis, tramadol, Exol 5 and rofinol, among others. Let's now join our sports desk for updates.